Well, 3 from the big one. Next up is race 15, the Mersey Novice Grade 1 hurdle, over 2 miles and 4 furlongs. Course for concern for Josh Sutherland, Red Palace for Paul Parsons, stakeholder for Daniel French, Topcroft Brigade for Hollywood Hinton, Josh Sutherland's Welcome to the Jungle, Paul Parsons Cable Dancer, Caldona Fleet for Daniel French, David Hooley's Sound Leader, and John Morgan's Wally Wombat. Another 9, just over 2.5 miles here on the hurdle course. Flags dropped and they're racing. Plenty of trainers in here with a couple. Daniel French's stakeholder is the one that's just nosing ahead. He's also got Caldona Fleet in here. Just up on the inside there you can see course for concern for Josh Sutherland alongside Red Palace. They'll get over the first of the 12. Red Palace rather stepped over it. Still wanting to see who wants to take this along, because Caldona Fleet is just nosed in front of stablemate Stockholder as they get to the second, which they will clear. Caldona Fleet, just by a length from Red Palace. A little bit wider is Topcroft Brigade as they get to the third. They'll clear that as well. And they'll head back towards the grandstand now. It's Caldona Fleet. By 5 from Sound Leader, Stakeholder, Red Palace, Course for Concern and Cable Dancer. Pushing through, trying to get in that group is Wally Wombat. And then just the 2 at the rear, Welcome to the Jungle and Topcroft Brigade. We get to the 4th. Leaders over it well. Opens up a 5-length advantage from Course for Concern, who took that last nicely. And they've got Cable Dancer and Sound Leader a little wider, and between those is Stakeholder back towards Rally's Red Palace. And Welcome to the Jungle. Wally Wombat and Topcroft Brigade just at the rear. As they head down the home straight, it is Caldona Fleet. To the 5th. Jumps it well. The rest clear it. So Caldona Fleet opening up a 6-length advantage from Course for Concern. Cable Dancer and Sound Leader and Red Palace and Stakeholder as they go over the 6. So half the flights are done. We've still got 1.5 miles to run. Start heading on out. Now as Caldona Fleet just takes a little rest there. It's allowed Sound Leader, Cable Dancer and Course for Concern to get within a couple of lengths. They found past the finishing post for the first time. Moving up a little bit closer is Wally Wombat. Red Palace up against the Row. Welcome to the Jungle again. A couple of reminders to hold on to the Row position. Then a couple back to Topcroft Brigade. Our back marker at the moment, but it's Caldona Fleet. Leads from Cable Dancer. So Daniel French and Paul Parsons from David Hooley's Sound Leader. Then Josh Sutherland's Course for Concern around 1, 2, 3, 4. Up across the Melling Road. There's Caldona Fleet. Still leading. Took it up a couple of furlongs from the start and has led since then. Go past their point of departure. And it's Caldona Fleet. Leads by 3 to Course for Concern. It's trying to get a little bit closer now. Cable Dancer and Sound Leader. Come to the next. Caldona Fleet takes it. Won't clear that. Bit of a mistake at the rear by Topcroft Brigade, but I think it was because he had no room to go. Caldona Fleet by 2 to Course for Concern, then a couple back to Cable Dance again, a couple of reminders. They go over the 8th, there's 5 from home, so there's 4 to take, and it's still Caldona Fleet leading the Mersey Novice Grade 1 hurdle into the 9th, takes that well, jumps better than 2nd place Course for Concern. Moving up on the inside is Cable Dancer, moving out on the wide outside is Red Palace. So the 2 Paul Parsons horses looking to track this Caldona Fleet down, all in the same colours, just a cap difference, but it's Course for Concern and Welcome to the Jungle moving up on the outside now. So Caldona Fleet coming down to the final half miles, he goes over the 3 from home, and it's Caldona Fleet from Course for Concern and Welcome to the Jungle. Between horses is Red Palace. Cable Dancer needs to pick up. The other 2, Sound Leader and Wally Wombat, also need to pass most of them, but it's Caldona Fleet still leads by a couple of lengths, although he's under a bit of pressure now. Inside the 3 from Course for Concern and Cable Dancer and Red Palace and Welcome to the Jungle and Sound Leader and Wally Wombat and Stakeholder, but it's Caldona Fleet with a 4-length advantage coming down to the penultimate, and it's Caldona Fleet gets over it well, gets away from it well from Cable Dancer and Course for Concern and Red Palace and Sound Leader and Stakeholder trying to get through the gap, but it's Caldona Fleet inside the final furlongs to go over the last. With a furlong left to run, and it's Caldona Fleet from Cable Dancer and Stakeholder and Red play its course from Zan's not going to win. Wally Wombat's not going to win from there either. We're inside the final half, and it's going to be Daniel French's Caledonia Fleet's going to take the Mersey Novice grade 1 hurdle from Cable Dancer in second. Stakeholder was third. Red Palace was fourth. Came fifth there. I think it was cause for concern. Daniel French picking up another graded race. It's a blinding season. Well done from Cable Dancer of Paul Parsons in second. Stakeholder teammate or stablemate of Caledonia Fleet was third, so well done for Daniel. Fourth was Red Palace for Paul Parsons, second and fourth, and sound leader for David Hooley just hung on for fifth.